Hey ladies and gentlemen, I saw this video about fatherlessness that's happening in America. It's a horrible thing. Look at this, like, share, hit the bell notification, the usual. Let's go.
The U.S. has the highest rate of children living in a single-parent household of any nation in the world. About 80% of single-parent homes are led by single mothers at a rate of 23% of children living with one parent and no other adult. The United States stands over 3 times the world average of 7% of children raised by one parent. For reference, the number stands at 3% in China, 4% in India. This is not an area we want to be competing with other countries, by the way. If there is a statistic to not be competing in, this is one of the statistics.
You guys are special in this department. Trophy prizes at the wrong moment, participation trophies, Me Too, Western ideology, human rights. I'm not saying that it's wrong, but you don't control it. It's like I can do it better than others. And you don't think about the consequences.
Statistics. China's at 3, India's at 4, the world's at 7. We're at 23% in America.
See?
Zero bragging rights. This is the stat everybody wants to hide. And this is the stats where the side effects of this, we ain't going to see for 2 decades or 3 decades or longer.
You need men in the house. Amen. If a family is together, Gucci, 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 at the same level at single fathers. But single mothers, you need father because single mothers are good, but they're empathetic in a way that it's not exactly perfect for society.
It takes a while to see the side effects. Let me continue. Even for children with a father present in the home, the average school-age boy only spends about 30 minutes per week with one-on-one conversations with his father. For comparison, the same boy on average will spend about 44 hours a week watching television, playing video games, and surfing the internet.
Like they told me one time, don't worry, Meat, you don't have to worry about your kids. TikTok will take care of them. I got so pissed at them and I started laughing. I'm like, dude, it's not a joke.
In our house, there is no video games throughout the week. It's on the weekends. After you read 150 pages throughout the week, then you have the right to play video games for an hour or two on the weekend, and that's what you have to earn. You have
That's a little more gangster than I thought, but hey, if they're getting their assault and less time behind them and you spend time with them, hey.
to move your body, you have to exercise. There's certain things you need to do to get to that
some
point.
sport.
That's our household, but the stat tells you 44 hours a week of watching TV, playing video games, and surfing the internet. Let me continue. 90% of all homeless and runaway children, 63% of teen suicides, 85% of children and teens with behavior disorders come from fatherless homes. Let me read that stat to you one more time. 90% of all homeless and runaway children, 63% of all teen suicide, 85% of children and teens with behavioral disorder come from fatherless homes.
Ladies, this is your turn. I'm not saying it's all your fault, but when you do something alone, there is a certain consequence. That's why having a baby and thinking that government will help you, that's not gonna help and solve the issue. You're gonna need more help. And that's the problem. It's all about help, 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 help. Sometimes when you don't get the help, you become a better person. But oh no, it's a human right. That's what everybody tells me. I didn't have that. Why did I get the things that I have right now? Because I knew nobody would help.
It's a very, very big number. Next, fatherlessness likewise has a direct link to teen pregnancy and sexual activity. Roughly 70% of teenage pregnancies come from women raised in a fatherless home. 70% of teenage pregnancies.
My father told me if you had a baby, I will kick you out. My father told me if you had a baby, it will ruin your life. My father told me don't bring any wretched woman before me, but I will kick you out. I know. I didn't have human right. I had human luck.
From fatherless homes. 70%. That's a big number. And these same women have significantly higher abortion rates than women raised by both a father and a mother. On the whole, fatherless kids are 20 times more likely to be incarcerated and 11 times more likely to exhibit violent behavior than children from two-parent household. 20 times more, okay? 20 times more. If a man and a wife raise a child, they're less likely to end up in jail but they have the same chances as children raised by just their father.
Ooh, did you hear that? He said it too. You can look for the statistic. They hide it. But if you Google it, they're going to say, you're searching for it, the algorithm. No. The thing is, fathers treat their kid in a way that the world is unfair. Generally. Ladies, in my anecdotal experience, treat the world as if it is your human right sometimes.
Just stay with me. Don't get distracted. Stay with me. Listen. If a man and a wife raise a child, they're less likely to end up in jail, but they have the same chance as children raised by just their fathers. The husband and wife raise their kid. The chance of this kid going to jail is the same as just the father raising his kids. The problem is the single mother without a father in the picture.
Yep. It's different. We treat each other a little harder sometimes. But no, it's just a kid. Let the kid be a kid.
That can sit there and discipline the kids, give them hope, values, principles, all the other stuff. We play different roles. This is statistic. If somebody's watching this saying, oh my God, you're discounting women, you're discounting mothers, go get upset at the stats.
Mama, was it hard for you to raise me? No, it was easy. I mean, I had you. There was a bad man, but I did my best. And the daughter's like, oh, okay, so we can just do it again. The son is like, well, but ladies are strong. They can do it again.
This is stats. You can't get upset at 3 times 3 is 9. That's stats. I'm giving you stats that's being given to us by the government because they have access to these stats. This is disturbing. Let me continue. Girls with no fathers have lower self-esteem. We can lower crime, lower mental issues, help the economy, lower suicide rates, and decrease homelessness by bringing back the family nucleus. There are things that my wife can do as a mother that I can't do. There's things she can bring that I can't bring. But there are things I can do that she can't do. So now you may say, well, Pat, I agree. I do agree. We can lower this. But then how come it's not happening? And here's the other question. Who's to blame? Who do we blame with this?
I would blame the government. Just having a baby, you get incentive from the government. Like in UK, you get so much money. So much money for just having a baby. People are like, hey man, I can't work. I'll just have a baby. That should not be a logic. I don't have any money. Well, I can force somebody to pay for me for 18 years. That's not okay. That is the problem for me. The idea that having a baby is not an issue. It's not seen as a bad thing. It's not seen as it has bad consequence. That should be seen like that because it has bad consequence. But empathy ruined the game.
Now you may be listening to this saying, well, it's got to be the husband and wife's fault. It's got to be the man and the woman's fault. Fine. How come it's not the same ratios around the world? Why is U.S. fatherlessness at 23%? Everywhere else is 7% average.
I mean, I'm not saying we don't need to help people, but in U.S. it's just too easy to me to a person. It's just too easy to just even write a name. Or when the baby is born, often you can write the name. It's his daddy. They will send an email to that person's house, and if he isn't there, or he's in prison or whatever, oh, you're the father automatically. Now you have to pay. Even if you prove that the baby is not even yours, it's already in the system. Dude, it's such a mess up. When I hear these stories from US, you guys are like just like a Netflix show that I watch and I get sadder and sadder and sadder. I'm like, F that country. Pause. I'm not against feminism. I'm not against Me Too. I'm not saying that these things in a society right now is a very wrong thing. I recognize that stupid men exist in this world and sadly, they're still gonna be there. But in the way that we're trying to help certain ladies, we need to at least recognize a certain negative thing that's coming on the other side. And I don't see a lot of people being responsible or at least recognizing that that's happening, and I don't need more people just blaming men very easily because a lot of good men has been put in that group that seems to be a bad man and is helping feminism and Me Too to grow even more and make impressionable girls feel confident that they can go do certain things that is not a benefit for them in the long run. I'm just trying to point it out. I just wanted to clarify how I speak in the moment without not much thinking sometimes because I don't articulate the thing correctly and you will assume usually the most negative thing. I'm not freaking Andrew Tate. Just chill your butt, okay? Europe is copying too. I'm like, yo, stop.
So is it really the mom and dad? So how about the mom and dad in India? How about the mom and dad in China? How about the mom and dad in Germany? How about the mom and dad in Brazil? How about the mom and dad in other places?
Yeah.
Why are we at 23%? How did this happen? Was it like this before? Is it an evolution? Is it mainstream media? Is it Hollywood? Is it the fact that parents are afraid of parenting because everybody is so much involved? You can't do that to your kid. You can't do this to your kid. You can't discipline your kid like that. Whose fault is it?
Well, who says that most? Men? No.
It's someone's fault. Is it the fact that, hey, we can't really bring church and schools and pray and all this stuff? I don't know. Maybe that's not something you agree with. Maybe it is. Maybe we need those values and principles. But it's somebody's fault in America that this is happening. This is purely a systemic issue that we're having. This cannot be like no, it's really the community, it's the parents, it's the culture, it's all this other stuff. No, standards are standards. We're sitting there not educating. It's not a big deal. Go ahead and do that. It's not a big deal. Go ahead and do that. It's not a big deal. Go ahead and do that. No. Standards have dropped, and the numbers are showing.
Nobody wants to feel responsible. They don't understand how to go forward, to have a future. Everything is so negative. And I understand where it's coming from. But you're acting in a way like back in the day as if they didn't think like that. The only difference is they weren't as connected as these kids of these days. It's not like they had help. Back in the day, if you didn't have any help, you're gone. You would never come close to the desperate feeling, oh my God, I have to do something. My father had 8 brothers. How did grandma raise them all without Google? Dude, do you understand how difficult it must have been? And they're still freaking happy. But now you have a bunch of baby, oh my God, government help me. And they gave you free money. More than the people that are working with one child.
If we judged a country
He picked the phone.
based on how many kids are being raised by fatherless homes that's producing crimes at the levels that we're getting, sex during teenage pregnancy, abortion, suicide, incarceration, maybe we ought to look at this. Maybe this is very important. Maybe our educational system sucks.
It sucks.
Maybe. Kids spend more time around teachers than they do around their parents.
Ooh, he made a good point. Maybe the teachers don't know how to instill proper value in these kids. Well, actually USA, you kind of effed already. You know why? Because you're more focused on gender, how to have funky funky at the year of 6 and all this stuff. You remember all the videos I made? Demonetized every day because we don't want to see those things. It's blocked on YouTube, but you get it at school. Hey dude, come on people. Come on, people. How do you not see this? I don't understand.
Who do we blame? The responsibility has to lie on the nation. Maybe we're either too much involved or we're not selling. Take your time to get married. Take your time before you have sex with someone. Take your time before you get pregnant. Take your time before you have a baby. Protect yourself. Stay home. Do not just go out there and have unprotected sex. Maybe we're not talking about this.
Because everybody says you're living in fear. I don't want to live in fear. Bada bing, bada boom. People, I was living in fear since I was a kid, thinking that any man can funky my butt. Okay? Especially if I go to prison. But no, why would you tell a kid like that? Hey people, that's what fathers teach their kids. Gangster love. I had this talk with my wife. Like, oh, he seems to be aggressive. But what do you want to do, honey? We can always buy him an iPad. Or we can just let him play, but instead of letting him play, we all go outside, run around and have fun.
Maybe we are, maybe we're not. The stat says we're not selling it in the right way, and we're paying a price for it. If you're in a community that crime is high, hello, you're feeling it. That's the stats. So the next time you see a father that takes their job as a father seriously, you can actually say, you know how we see somebody in military uniform? Guess what you say? Hey, thank you for your service. What do you mean? Hey, man, stats, 23% fatherlessness. And you're there with your kids. Thank you for your service. Being a father is tough. Good for you guys, husband and wife, trying to make this work. Marriage is tough. Salute. You make my life better and safer by raising good kids. Salute to you.
Hey.
Maybe we ought to give those awards. Maybe we need to kind of recognize Father of the Year award, a bigger deal. Man, if I ran a state or a country, we would be recognizing certain behavior and turning great fathers and mothers into heroes. because God knows their job is hard, very hard.
Thank you.
Not, making their job harder, and not recognizing the guys that are doing a good job, just kind of winging it, which is the way we're doing it right now.
Yeah.
Stats don't favor us. We got some work to do. This is an area, well, I will very comfortably say America's got a lot of work to do. We've stepped away from values and principles, and we're kind of winging it.
Man, I think that's a great video. It kind of hit me in the spot right there, because I've noticed it that many times I meet specific fathers on the street, and they always like congratulate me, or they tease me in a funny way because I'm always there with my kids. I remember one time I went to a pool and I kind of arrived late because we went literally every day with my kids to swim. And when I arrived late, and there were like all security guards on the outside, they were like, "Why did you come late again? They're waiting for you, your kids." And I just start laughing, but they do it in a way to tease me like, "You're the only one that's doing something right. And oh man, you failed your kid again." I'm like, dude, 30 days, I came one late, But it feels so good. But the idea that you do that, do you know how many ladies have told me, "Well, it's your job. Look at the ladies in the past." I'm like, why are you using me? Go talk to the man that failed you, not the one that's doing a hard job and make him feel discriminated, Anyway, man, I just wanted to watch this and let you know I didn't expect it to be this good, but it's good. And we need to give fathers more help and more understanding if they're really trying to do the job. We should be seen as heroes for those that do it, and it shouldn't be like, "Well, you're supposed to do that." Yeah, we are supposed to do it, but nobody is helping us. When a lady gets pregnant, she's supposed to do it, but she gets every freaking help. And there's no impressionable girl scene like that, and we have to think of, "Well, no, we need to help them anyway." No! Come on, people. We need to promote it in a way where if you're a family and you stick together, here's some good money for the future of the city. I wish there was something like that. I would be freaking rich. But guess what? I didn't do it for that reason. But hey, promote a single one that creates way more gangster trouble. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe a little emotional. Let me know what you think. I wasn't expecting I was doing this video, but when I saw the title, I knew this was gonna be good. Let me know your thoughts, your opinion as a father and a mother, because I'm really interested. Because it can't be I'm the alone. And if I said something wrong, correct me. That's why we're here. Maybe I'm dumb sometimes too. Peace.